Good day. We begin with major political developments in the United States as a group of Democrats moves to formally question President Donald Trump's fitness for office, while two congressional representatives have resigned amidst separate allegations. Democratic Representative Jamie Raskin has introduced a new legislative proposal aimed at preparing for the potential use of the 25th Amendment of the United States Constitution against U.S. President Donald Trump. The bill seeks to establish a commission tasked with examining the president's ability to discharge the powers and duties of his office. Representative Raskin stated that public confidence in President Trump has plummeted to an unprecedented low. He cited the president's alleged threats to destroy entire civilizations, causing chaos in the Middle East, insulting Pope Leo the Fourteenth, and distributing artificial intelligence-generated images comparing himself to Jesus Christ. Representative Raskin had previously called on the president to undergo a cognitive test and release the results publicly. The legislative proposal is backed by 50 Democrats, but is considered unlikely to pass in the currently Republican-controlled House of Representatives. Even if it were to pass, applying the 25th Amendment would require the agreement of the Vice President and a majority of the Cabinet. Should President Trump object, a two-thirds majority in both chambers of Congress would then be needed to declare him unable to serve. However, the proposal could gain new momentum if the majority balance in Congress shifts after the congressional elections in November. In other news, the United States government announced on Monday it will launch a new system for refunding unlawfully collected tariffs. The administration has collected a total of $166 billion in excess duties. The Customs and Border Protection Agency stated in a court document on Tuesday, April 14th, that the first development phase of the CAPE system has been completed. This system is designed to bundle payments, allowing affected companies to receive a single electronic transfer, potentially including interest, rather than processing each import individually. By April 9th, 56,497 importers had processed claims for refunds totaling $127 billion. The Supreme Court ruled in February that President Donald Trump exceeded his authority by imposing extensive tariffs, which he had based on a national emergency law from 1977. More than 330,000 importers had paid the duties on 53 million shipments and subsequently sued for refunds. The Customs Agency plans a phased introduction of the new system, but is still seeking solutions for a $2.9 billion portion of the tariffs, as manual processing would heavily burden personnel. Meanwhile, the United States Congress is grappling with significant resignations. Democratic Representative Eric Swalwell has announced his resignation following allegations of sexual assault. This announcement came after he withdrew his candidacy for the governorship of California over the weekend. Several women had accused Representative Swalwell of sexual misconduct, with reports from CNN and the San Francisco Chronicle detailing the claims. In his resignation statement circulated on the online service X, Representative Swalwell spoke of misjudgments, but simultaneously denied the core allegations, stating he would fight the grave false accusation against him. However, he added, "Nevertheless, I must take responsibility and stand by the mistakes I actually made." Just hours after Representative Swalwell's statement, Republican Representative Tony Gonzales also announced his withdrawal from Congress. He had admitted to an affair with a former staffer who later died by suicide. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mike Johnson, had already advised Representative Gonzales not to seek re-election. Shifting our focus to international affairs, 2 people have died in a United States military operation against a boat in the East Pacific. NBC News reported this, citing the U.S. Southern Command. The boat was allegedly involved in drug smuggling and operated by a group designated as terrorists by the United States. A video released shows a small boat being struck by unknown aerial ammunition emitting smoke. A precise location for the attack was not disclosed. According to NBC News, the Trump administration in its second term has reportedly attacked 51 such vessels, killing 170 people. Military personnel often referred to these individuals as combatants and drug traffickers, a designation repeatedly disputed by the victims' relatives. Finally, the dispute between President Donald Trump and Pope Leo the Fourteenth has drawn comment from United States Vice President JD Vance, who urged the Vatican to refrain from involving itself in politics. Speaking to the United States broadcaster Fox News on Monday, Vice President Vance stated, "I am absolutely of the opinion that in some cases it would be best for the Vatican to limit itself to moral questions." He added that it should be left to the United States President to determine American politics. Pope Leo the Fourteenth had, on Saturday, called for world peace against the backdrop of the Iran war. The pontiff condemned the senseless and inhumane violence in the Middle East and declared that Christians could not stand alongside those who are dropping bombs today. Addressing the faithful in St. Peter's Basilica, the Pope declared, "Enough of war. What's your take on 25th Amendment push against Trump? Congress rocked by scandals. Share your view in the comments. Do you think this will matter in the next news cycle?" This video was generated using artificial intelligence.